Oh, hi, everybody! It's so great to be here with all my special friends. We're gonna have a stupendous time together. Oh, it makes me so happy to see all of you. I just want to say hello to all my friends. To all my friends! Oh, we've been canceled! Well, my friends, we're gonna be paying tribute to A Day in the Park with Barney. This is episode 457 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. I love you.
Hello everyone and welcome to our Day in the Park with Barney tribute show. I have no idea where this episode's going to go. If last week's episode anything to go by, it could go in a weird direction. But joining me to discuss A Day in the Park with Barney is Tracy.
Hello everyone.
And Michelle.
Hello.
And Chris.
Hello.
Before we get into this, have we all seen A Day in the Park with Barney live?
Not live.
A long time ago.
2 weeks ago.
How did you manage that, Chris? It closed about a month ago.
He watches it on
Barney
YouTube.
then.
He watches it on
Jurassic
YouTube
Park, my bad.
regularly.
The first time, and bear in mind, we have taken young kids to Universal. The first time Tracy and I saw A Day in the Park with Barney was approximately 2.5 hours ago on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We have not watched it, ever.
To be fair, I did try and put Barney on once for Jade, and she basically got up, screamed, and ran straight out the room and refused to come back in until it was on. So,
And now you know why after watching that video.
I'm a little traumatised.
So,
Yeah.
as we always do, we're going to talk a bit of quick history and then go through the show itself and just kind of talk about the show and what have you. So, Michelle, take us away.
Alrighty. A Day in the Park with Barney opened inside Universal Studios Florida's Kids Zone on July 11th, 1995, replacing the Bates Motel set, which had opened with the park. The attraction ran until COVID hit and only reopened briefly between June and August of 2020 before being closed again due to the ongoing pandemic and officially closed its doors on February 3rd of this year.
And it's really weird when you see that area now that everything to do with Barney is just like day after it closed, gone. No reference to Barney anywhere.
They move fast.
There was somebody that just hated the show. Like, get everything out of here today.
I didn't realize that it replaced Bates Motel because I do, as a child, remember that, but I didn't make the connection that that Barney replaced that.
Like that's way before our time in the parks, like 10 years before. So yeah, we would never have seen that.
Like, who thinks let's take down this awesome hotel and put Barney in? Like, whose idea was that?
Oh, to be fair, I think Barney's scarier.
It's very true.
Very
It's
true.
also
I guess.
like a childhood show phenomenon. So
Yeah, was it a big thing over here or not, Barney?
Barney, not really. I don't think
it's
so.
huge over here.
Yeah, we get a lot of American kids shows over here. Some of them stick, some of them don't. It's not something I ever remember you watching with the kids.
Well, one was older, but Jade hated it.
Lord, I had to watch it all the time because I worked in a daycare.
Aw.
Ugh.
That's why Michelle's weird.
It was Bear in the Big Blue House.
Yeah,
It
thank
did
you.
something to her.
I had to watch it all the time because my sister was of age to watch that show.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
tell everyone that, Chris. We know the truth, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I put it on for her even when she was sleeping so I
Yeah.
could see it.
Of course.
But yeah, it was
Yeah.
for her. All right. So the queue contained a bronze Barney statue measuring 9.75 feet or 2.97 meters for you other people, which was stood over a fountain at the entrance to the attractions area.
I wonder if that Barney statue made its way into the prop shop. And would anyone want to buy it?
It should make its way into a Halloween Horror Nights house somehow.
Yeah.
It may well do. That'd actually be quite
amusing.
interesting, actually. That would be
Halloween
funny.
egg.
But yeah.
The guests emptied from the lines into a covered pre-show area with an odd-looking house facade, covered in pipes, knobs, and doors.
What? What's so funny about pipes, knobs, and doors?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yep. All good here. And the setting for the pre-show was decorated very much like a child would imagine it. Colours, bright lights, and even a rainbow over the house, which was owned by the pre-show's host, Mr. Peekaboo, who had not yet made his appearance when the guests enter into the pre-show area.
Now, it's interesting that it's Mr. Peekaboo because the show that we saw was a woman.
Yes.
But okay.
So it was Mrs.
It's his
Peekaboo.
wife.
I don't know if how she was introduced,
I don't remember
actually.
being introduced.
That's
Could
odd.
be missed if they split up. Who knows?
It might have been Mr. Peekaboo.
Oh, right. And different songs and sounds were heard through the pre-show area as guests waited for the show to start, and time allowed more people to make their way into the area.
Yeah, it's now covered over by curtains and little TVs showing DreamWorks stuff.
Yes, it is.
And that's how they got rid of it. They just put a curtain up. Went, nothing to see here, everyone. So, again, we're going to be interesting how we go here. So let's talk about the pre-show.
Uh-huh.
Chris?
All right. So Patrick Aloysius Bartholomew. Patrick Aloysius Bartholomew, a.k.a. Mr. Peekaboo for short, and his parrot, Bartholomew, were very close friends to Barney, Baby Bop, and BJ.
Right, let's not tackle that just yet. Let's just ignore that just for a second.
Okay.
Just for a second. So he named his parrot the same as himself. Little narcissistic, are we not?
Yeah.
And the more I look at the name Bartholomew, the weirder it looks, by the way.
And Aloysius doesn't.
No. Now are we going to talk about Barney, Baby Bop, and come on,
And
people.
BJ?
BJ. Why? The people
BJ.
that wrote this show, seriously. Come on. Why?
Barney Jr.
Is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
What does the
I
BJ
don't
stand
think so.
for?
You really?
Can't be,
Really?
no.
You're inviting
No, I
that
would-
question?
Totally different dinosaur.
Billie Jean.
I need to know. I need to know why he's called BJ.
She.
I'm sorry. Is it a she?
I always thought it was a girl.
I mean, that's even worse.
No, I think isn't BJ the boy yellow one?
I thought it was a girl yellow one.
No, the girls, that's Baby Bop is
Baby
the yellow
Bop
one.
is, yeah.
BJ
I
is a
think he's
boy.
green.
Never thought I'd have this conversation at the age I'm at right now, but okay.
BJ is green.
BJ's yellow and green. Yeah, he's like mainly yellow, has a green stomach.
Really? Then what is Baby Bop?
Baby Bop is green.
Oh, okay.
purple.
I had him mixed.
So is BJ a girl? What? I can't believe we're having it. BJ
is a 7-year-old yellow male protoceratops.
and Baby Bop is a 3-year-old girl.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we just need to move
I
on.
don't know if it's 3 years old.
Yes, it is, because I
don't
remember
wanna
it
be,
very specifically being mentioned in this show, because I said to Tracy, she can talk for a 3-year-old, especially a 3-year-old dinosaur.
She's obnoxious. My
yeah.
God. She's
really
akin to
obnoxious.
Caillou.
A what?
Oh, you've never seen Caillou?
Caillou?
Oh
Was
my
that bald
goodness!
head?
Oh yeah, that little
Yes,
weird.
the bald
French-
head kid. Oh my God.
I have
Talking
never
about the
heard
most
of it.
Already?
Oh,
It was, like,
obnoxious.
look
terrible.
into it. Yeah, but the
How are we spelling that?
CAILLOU.
I thought
Oh
it was
my
like
God.
Callaloo or something.
Yeah,
That's
that
the most
rings a bell now.
obnoxious children's show ever.
but the canon is that the kid's actually dying of cancer.
What?
Yeah, that's why he's bald.
Wasn't that a theory
that never,
or something?
Yeah, and his parents
never comes up in the show
No,
ever that
but
he's
this-
sick.
This
ever.
but this is apparently the canon, and it everything that happens are his parents giving him the best last days of his life.
Was that the same for
What?
Charlie Brown
Yeah.
then? Is that why he was miserable as sin all the time, Charlie Brown? Because he was bald as well, wasn't he? Anyway,
Is this as true as why Barney is purple?
why
I
is he
don't know why
purple?
Barney's purple.
Well, we'll get to it, I'm sure. Tracy's
Yeah.
By the
desperate
way,
to
I have
tell you.
your answer here, Lee.
Okay.
BJ was named after Cheryl Leach's father, BJ Stamps, and Cheryl Leach was the creator of the show.
Okay. I mean, it's just an unfortunate name, isn't it,
is.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very true.
I'll take it back.
Yeah.
We cannot be rude now. Please continue,
I
Christopher.
mean, we can, but
And we probably will.
he was an elderly gentleman, but only in age. His spirit was very much that of a child.
Mr. Peekaboo? That's kind of strange.
That all makes it a little bit worse.
Look, let's not. We're trying to pay tribute to
Why
this
don't
show,
you cut this out?
not pick it to bits.
I know, but
Of,
just
oh my God. Seriously, the people that wrote this show, they must have
creepy
known
guy,
what they were
not gonna
doing.
lie.
yeah. Mr. Peekaboo was an incredibly forgetful character. We find this out as he tries to find the door to Barney's park to allow the children to enter, only to remember that they actually have to only use their imagination.
Oh, this is good. He asks the guests to close their eyes and to imagine a park. just can't. At which point, the waterfall that
We're into Omarashi now. Oh my god! Water sports.
Never heard Michelle giggle like a little kid as much as she has tonight.
At which point, the waterfall that blocks the door stops, showing that using their imagination had worked. Oh, God.
I don't know what the big deal is here, guys. You've never listened to A Stranger in a Park?
No. That explains why Chris is a
Never
bit
followed a
strange as
stranger
well.
through a door.
Anyway, can we get back on track? That the little waterfall thing was actually pretty cool.
It was, yes.
Because I questioned whether it was an actual waterfall
think
or
it
like
was 'cause you
strings.
could
And
see.
yeah, I think it was, and it
Yeah.
was pretty cool. I love the Universal once again using water into quite cool effect inside an attraction.
Yes. I like that.
The theater that the main show was held in was designed to resemble a park, and in the center was an elevated circular stage with 3 ramps equally positioned on each side. Once inside the theater, Mr. Peekaboo greets the children and asks them to use their imagination once again to allow Barney to appear. To do this, they had to chant the dinosaur's name. Barney, Barney, Barney.
Say my name.
Barney,
Say my
Barney,
name.
and then
Say-
suddenly
Try and stop
Barney
the
appears.
Try and stop the waterfall.
Oh my god!
Oh, the waterfall's back on. I'm getting wet right now.
Wow. So after the lights dim,
Hang on.
more.
We need to discuss that
sorry.
first bit.
Yeah,
this
sorry.
effect would have been so much better if it didn't take 20 minutes.
Anybody shuffling.
It's like if you look at something like obviously the idea of it, the lights go down and Barney appears. The equivalent is the final room drop in Poseidon's Fury, where it literally happens like that, and you're like, holy where did everything go? The lights are dimmed. Barney. Tick tock, tick tock. Come on.
27 minutes later.
Give him time to get a chance to waddle out of the side there. Oh, look, 10 minutes later. Barney's here, everyone. Where did he come from? We saw him walk out of there. My eyes had adjusted to the dark by that point. I could see him walk out of there.
He tripped off me brother.
Bless him. But I mean, I don't know how else you could do it
No,
without
I
having
know.
a fake trap door in the
Yeah.
floor or something. But it's a shame, because if they could have got it
Yeah,
down
it
really
would have been
quickly,
really good.
it would have been really good. The kids
Yeah.
would have been like, holy crap, where did he come from?
Yeah.
We really did conjure the Barney with our imagination. Mm-hmm. They'd have been at home trying
Honestly, the kids probably do think that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. Okay. So after the lights dim, soft music plays, and stars appear in the darkness. Barney appears in the middle of the stage 10 hours later, and his theme song, Barney is a Dinosaur, plays in the background as the show begins.
Just in case you didn't know he was a dinosaur. A big purple dinosaur
Seems legit.
with green spots.
Barney then performs 2 songs, If You're Happy and You Know It.
Do all 3.
And then
I actually really enjoyed watching that show tonight. I actually really enjoyed that bit. I could see me sat in that theatre joining in more than the kids would have done.
oh yeah, I could so see you doing that too. Your cute little bald head bopping. Yeah. Okay, and then imagine a place behind a door. Baby Bop and BJ join Barney on stage to sing Mr. Knickerbocker.
Which is his favourite
Oh,
song,
God.
by the way. He said that's his favourite song.
And then down on Grandpa's farm.
It was Grandma's farm.
The one we saw was Grandma's farm. That's
Because I was
interesting.
already sniggering about, oh, we're all going down on Grandma's farm. Is that a euphemism?
Oh God. And then if all the raindrops.
Back to Omarashi.
After the song, Barney exclaims he had a wonderful time with all of the children and that only one song was left to finish off the day.
So the Down on Grandma's farm, as it was when we watched it, they had two different team members and Mr. Peekaboo with like inflatable animals on the little cats. That was actually pretty cool. But those poor buggers just wheeled it up round and round in a tiny circle and then off you pop.
Yeah.
To throw up.
Throw up.
Yeah, you get dizzy going round and round in that little circle.
I'm watching a video here of it, and it's the thing is literally inflating while on stage.
Oh yeah, there's no.
They didn't even bother to do it before.
No. Yeah, there's no suspension of disbelief at that point. It's like, oh, it's just an inflatable. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the 3 dinosaurs hold hands, and begin singing everyone's favorite, I Love You.
I love you, you love me.
All the way, Lee.
We're a happy
Together and kill
family.
Barney.
Michelle.
Wow. That's an old song, Lee.
I don't give a crap.
That's how my daughter sings it. Sorry.
That says more about you than it does about her.
I like that version better, Michelle.
Okay, good.
Baby Bop and BJ make their exits, while Barney ends the show by saying, "And remember, I love you," and blows a kiss goodbye.
Aw.
After the show, guests exit out into Barney's backyard,
Oh, I love Barney's backyard.
an indoor activity centre for children, where they could get their picture taken with Barney, so there's some proof, as well as playing in his echo tunnel and with his musical
God.
fountain. And
I want to play in Barney's Echo Tunnel.
Oh, we've played in Barney's Echo Tunnel.
Oh, yes.
And played with his musical fountain.
yes, we have.
It's a lot of fun.
Didn't tell me, Mum.
Did you get wet, Tracy?
Oh, yeah.
Soaking.
Yeah. But also, you will exit through a gift shop where you can pick up a little purple dinosaur doll.
Do they have Mr. Peekaboo dolls?
I don't think so.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh, darn.
We need Joni to create some.
I take it you guys haven't been into Barney's backyard then.
Lord.
Maybe. Long time ago.
After our infamous episode 23 of our Walk the Walk of Kid Zone, where I think by the end of it, because Hunter, the more he laughed, the higher pitched his voice got. I think there was only dogs could hear him by the end of that
my
episode. I have never laughed so much on a podcast episode as we did in that. If you want us to actually, like, if whatever you end up hearing as far as this episode goes, it's nothing compared to what we talked about.
Has it stood up?
It
though?
hasn't, but
No.
if you've never listened to it before, I think you would still find it funny. I've listened to the hell out of it, so it's not as funny now. But oh my God. But as far as Barney's backyard actually goes, it's a pretty decent little kids play.
It's not a bad
was
area,
a
actually.
little
Yeah.
decent kids play area, but
And it's aircon and it's dark, which is quite nice.
if you're an immature 30 to 40-year-old, then there's a lot of chance for hilarity.
Do you know what? Actually, I'll take that 30 to 40-year-old. Thank you very much.
40 to 50-year-old.
Oi. Thank you. Don't like you anymore.
We are going to take a quick break and we'll be back.
Have you taken a stroll down Diagon Alley and visited Gringotts Bank? Taken a ride through New York with Jimmy Fallon? Visited the truffle trees in Seuss Landing or hung out with a real-life Transformer? No? Then what are you waiting for? At Universal Orlando Resort, there truly is an option for everyone. Or if you're leaning a little more towards pixie dust rather than wands and potions, Disney destinations around the globe await your arrival. No matter the adventure, our sponsors have you covered. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse & Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs, earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a You Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts Vacations. Mouse & Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rated customer service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a no-obligation quote request, or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you want to go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless, some might even say it's simply magical.
So to be fair, having watched this show today, it really showed its age, and
Yeah.
I am not surprised they got rid of it. It was very, very slow and kind of downbeat, and
Yeah, it was.
very much a product of something that was made back in the 1990s. Whereas you look at what's replaced it now with the DreamWorks destination, it's night and day for atmosphere wise.
Bouncy
It's
and-
upbeat and it's
Yeah.
you know, we don't know the reason they got rid of Barney. I think the rumor going around was because it was a licensing thing, but to be fair, for it to still be there 25 years after it debuted
Yeah.
is a hell of a testament to it. And from what I
is.
can gather, it was a very popular show for most of the time. It's creepy adults going in, posting vlogs on it because they knew it probably wasn't going to be around much longer, but
Yeah, but that's capturing it for
posterity.
archives, isn't it? Which needs to be done, to be fair.
So Chris can watch it at
Yeah.
night while he's falling asleep.
Yep.
The only thing that gets me to go to sleep.
Yep.
You know, I mean, R.I.P. Barney's backyard. That sounds really bad. Because we're going to miss being able to have a snigger over it.
Oh, we'll find something else to have.
I'm
a
sure we
over.
will. You know, we kind of talked about it last week that whole kids zone area now. I know they've put the new DreamWorks thing in, but we said that it looks very temporary.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't really done anything to suggest. Chris, I know you asked me about it whether I thought it was temporary or a permanent, or like going to be there a while. It looks very temporary. They've done nothing to suggest that it's going to be a permanent thing, and it's still weird. Kids Zone, because everything in Kids Zone is completely outdated at this point. Like, to be fair, it was probably outdated 20 years ago.
It does feel.
Yeah.
It feels like even years ago. It still felt like a traveling show type
It's just
area
weird.
where it was like quick put up stuff.
Yeah, it's very. There's no. What's the word I'm looking for? It's very not seamless. Like it's Thiefel and then Barney and then Woody Woodpecker and then Curious George.
Yeah.
Like
there's
what?
no cohesion. It's just
Cohesion. That's what I was looking for.
It does. It feels a bit like a midway.
I think,
traveling midway.
I said to Tracy when we were talking about it last night that it's a shame with SpongeBob StorePants being there that they couldn't have lent on that SpongeBob thing a little more, because I think a Bikini Bottom area would have been amazing. And SpongeBob is one of those things
still love
that
SpongeBob.
Yeah, the show might not still be on, but people still love it.
That's going to be a timeless show.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I still watch it now.
Yeah, without a doubt.
In
You
fact,
can
I
ride
was
like the Gary go round and
it's really slow.
Patrick's something.
That'd be cool, like an in-park water park for kids. Have you ever seen those at like Six Flags or whatever, where they have the water park area in the park?
Yep.
That would be such a cool water park for kids. SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I mean, your restaurant's there with the Krusty Krab. You know, there's so much. I know.
And your chum bucket.
Because we had, it did the rounds in a few theme parks over here. There was a SpongeBob 3D attraction. Like, it wasn't quite as bad as Shrek, but that sort of Minion Mayhem Shrek 3D kind of thing. And it wasn't a bad show, actually, at our local theme park. You know, so they've tried to do SpongeBob attractions. It's a shame that they couldn't have done something with
So you
that.
could have the driving school and have
Yeah.
driving little boats around and
But then I do believe at this
jellyfishing.
I do believe at this point that if Universal had have realised how popular Despicable Me was going to be, that whole area would have, I've said this a few times before, that whole area would have become Despicable Me, and I think it would have been fantastic.
Super silly.
You know, you could have just built Super Silly Funland, put a little Daft Kiddie coaster, like either re-theme.
No, I want that exact coaster
No, I don't think so. Michelle wouldn't be riding it. That drops horrendous on that bloody thing.
No, thank you.
No. But yeah, I think looking at Barney, it was definitely way past its time to go to sleep.
It definitely served a
unfortunately.
purpose, though.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Michelle, you're the only one here with kids, a kid old like young enough to kind of appreciate that. Did you say you never took Chrissa in there?
No.
For what reason?
Even when she was 3, she wasn't interested in going in there.
Yeah.
But you didn't just drag her in and go, all right, we're going to go and see this.
No.
You don't understand
Why?
kids, do you?
I mean, I would drag her onto like a roller coaster, but I wouldn't drag her into Barney. No.
I don't know what that says about you being a parent.
Yeah. She's never been interested in even watching Barney, so.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I don't know any kids. I don't know. It's not like a hangout with kids, by the way, and we talk about what shows you watch, but you know what I mean? It's not something that I can ever remember being talked about a lot, Barney.
When?
Ever.
But it wasn't
like in the 90s.
It wasn't particularly a thing here. It happened way past our time, and then it was probably too old for our kids because we were given a load of VHSs. That shows you how old it is. And I put it on for Jade once, and she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm out of here."
Here's a question: when did Barney stop being on TV?
November 2nd, 2010.
Really?
I mean, that's when it stopped airing. That's the final episode date. But then they syndicated it, and it's on.
I didn't realise it was that recent, to be fair.
Blue's Clues was better.
Yeah, but we had our own version of that, didn't we? We had a British one. We didn't get the American import. We had a British version of it.
Yeah, it was just
18 years. Pretty good
yeah,
lifespan on TV.
it is.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be... I mean, there's not an awful lot we can talk about with Barney, let's be honest. It's a kid's show that it's not aimed at us.
No, Some kids like it, some kids don't.
I still kind of find it weird that Universal are showing again that they are not a park for families. And I'm not saying that as a negative, right? We talked about this on our 10-year anniversary show, that Universal, for a while, kind of went down that route of, we want to try and have family attractions to compete with Disney, and then realised that they can't compete for Disney. They can't compete against Disney for that market, and then they've gone the opposite way now. So you look at the last few attractions they've built: Kong, Hagrid's, Fast and the why did I say Fast and the Furious? Fast and the Furious, it's not a family ride, but whatever. And Velocicoaster, that they've gone completely away from that kids thing, and yet they still seem to. They've got that outdated thing of having one area in a theme park for kids. It's odd, because there's not enough in there for a family with little kids to go, we're going to pay for a day at Universal, go to a one-day ticket to Universal, and all they can do is that area there. You couldn't spend a whole day in Kids Zone with little... Well, maybe you could.
It's to take away the guilt from parents going, yeah, I'm going to take my 3-year-old to Universal. They want to go there.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, the idea of having a kids area is kind of strange to me as a parent anyway, because you don't want to be the parent that is like, okay, I'm going to have to take the little one to this one area of the park and stay here all day while my family goes and has fun. Yeah. It makes much more sense to sprinkle the kids' offerings throughout the park so that hey, that's you true. Go hop on that ride. I'm going to take the kid to this ride that's right next door. Yeah. And then we'll switch. That makes much more sense to me. Yeah. So I don't know.
And yet you look at Universal as a whole. Islands has it. Mm-hmm. In Zeus Landing, and the Studios has Kids Zone. Yet you look at, and this is the weird thing, because again, it probably comes from that point of view where they were trying to compete with Disney, but they didn't want to be Disney. We don't want to be a family park, but we still don't want to alienate families with little kids. So what we're going to do to appease those is put this little area, so there is something for the little kids to do. But then it means the rest of you aren't going to get to do anything else because you're going to spend all day in that area. It's like It's like Disney. I remember at Blizzard Beach with having Tiki Reef and those. You've got one little area that the little kids can go on, but then you've got the rest of it that's aimed at everybody else.
But the thing is, as a parent, you know that this is only a transitional short-term period. So you just go with it, because that's your life at the moment. You chose to have kids, so that's what you do. That's not going to be forever. That's just for this moment in time. So create memories there. You've got to grow and move around the park, But yes, I think it would be better dotted around rather than just lumped in one place. And then, you've got more chance of seeing the rest of the park and eating in other places. And
yeah, you're pigeonholing your family into that whole one area and missing out on the potential for them spending money elsewhere around the park.
But the parks
maybe that's just how psychologically it works, because I look at carnivals and they set it up the same exact way. You have little corner area that's a kids area, and the rest is everything else. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what works for them. Maybe the mom just goes, hey, I want to take the daughter here, or the dad goes, I'm gonna take the daughter over here, or whatever the case may be.
Most of my clients bring a grandparent who wouldn't want to ride the big rides anyway. Yep. And the grandparent goes to that area with the kids, and that works. Or they're, a mom like me, and they're just like, oh no, the kid's just coming with me, and they're going to wait in line with me, and they're going to sit and child swap. And that works too, which honestly at Universal is fine, because the lines, most of them are so themed that the little kids actually have fun being in line. Walking with the family. So it kind of works at Universal. Yeah.
And Rip Ride Rocket's a testament to that.
but also devil's advocate as well, even though I've said spread it around the park.
Oh, I know what you're going to say now.
What?
Who the wants kids all around you when you're trying to enjoy the rest of the park?
As a parent of a girl, an obnoxious girl at times, sometimes when they're getting stubborn and they're like, I don't want to walk all this way, I'm not walking all around this park. You know what? At least then you've got it all in one area, so you're not having to drag a screaming kid around, feeling embarrassed because everybody's looking at you. At least you just go to one area, and then the kid's going to be a bit happier, perhaps. So I see both sides.
Or maybe it's one of those things where you just take your kid to this one area with all this stuff going on, blow all your energy, and then throw them in the stroller and take them to the rest of the areas.
Maybe.
And they do now have big lockers, so...
So here's the interesting
There's
thing
that.
moving forward is, like, this seems to be the way Universal have done their 2 theme parks so far. Epic Universe is going to be very interesting then to see how they do, because from the rumoured plans that we've seen so far of what the areas in that park are going to be, there's nothing that screams kids area. You could say the How to Train Your Dragon area, but from what we know, there's going to be a dueling coaster in there. So there isn't one area at Epic Universe from the plans that we have seen as far as
Keep
rumours
forgetting
go.
about that.
There isn't going to be a specific kids area.
Mm.
You don't think
could
Nintendo
be
is kind of kid? I'm not saying that adults can't, but isn't that something that the most of the kids can do?
No, there's a difference. There's a difference there, Michelle. You're saying, is that an area that kids can do? Yes, but I'm talking about, we're talking about Zeus Landing and Kids Zone being the equivalents, and they are areas that are designed specifically for kids, whereas Super Nintendo World wouldn't be. It would be an area aimed at all ages that everyone do, rather than specifically for little kids, which Zeus Landing and Kids Zone are. So as far as Epic Universe goes, there isn't a land that looks like it's been specifically put in there to be just for families with little kids, like there is at Islands and Studios.
Maybe Dracula's Castle is going to be a playground.
I mean, maybe.
Hotel Transylvania.
Oh no, please
Ooh.
don't. Isn't there 4 of them bloody things now? I think
There's
I've
a
only
new
seen
one coming out.
Yeah, I think I've only seen one of them.
Yes.
I
think I've
like
seen
them.
2, actually.
They're fun.
Yeah,
They're fun.
they're all right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Have we just about killed this then? Can we talk any more about it?
That turned out to be a nicely long episode, actually,
Yeah.
depending on how much you cut out.
Well, exactly.
Half of it.
Anyway, I suppose we better wrap up. There's not much we can talk about. It is Barney. It's a kids show that probably should have ended a while ago, to be fair.
It served its purpose.
It will be interesting to see how well this new DreamWorks destination goes down, but from what we've seen, people are liking it.
Yep.
I'm certainly not against it. I don't think it's necessarily anything we will... I mean, I might stick... The kids, I can tell you now, Raymond and Jabe won't be interested in it.
No, well, I wouldn't expect them to be. They're
Raymond
not
might,
kids.
I don't know. He's a big kid at heart. She'd be like, I'm too cool for that. But yeah, it will be interesting to see, because we haven't really seen anything DreamWorks since they signed that deal. And how long's that deal been signed with Universal now? 5 years?
I did walk past a troll.
You did, but
I
it's
did.
not. They've never really done
That's it.
anything with that DreamWorks license since they
No.
bought it, other than meet and greets.
So perhaps there's a land coming.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It seems likely. It's hot property.
It is, and I think, like you say, you just want to take. I know it from rumors for Epic Universe, we are going to get a How to Train Your Dragon, and let's be honest, that's what everybody wants. Because
Without a
if you
doubt.
have Burke
Mm-hmm.
and all of that, and somehow have interactive, like a raptor encounter kind of thing with Toothless or some of the other dragons.
That would be really great. A ride where you can actually ride dragons.
There's one I was talking to you, wasn't it? We talked.
Thanks, Chris.
We talked
Yeah.
about it
Or they fight.
when it was supposed to be Hagrid. What the ride system for Hagrid was supposed to be. Obviously, it's not, but it's the Arthur and the Invisibles at Europa Park. There's a How to Train Your Dragon ride. I want to say it's in Dubai.
Yeah.
It's a Mack coaster, like a suspended thing. It actually looks really cool, and it's interesting how they've got that, yet Universal have done nothing with it. Like, it's How to Train Your Dragon isn't even part of this DreamWorks destination
Which tells
thing.
me that there's bigger plans for it, though.
Well, we know it's coming to Epic
could be.
Universe, so yeah.
Also, thank God they didn't do that coaster ride for Hagrid's.
Yeah,
Yeah. For me, this is all just keeping the characters at the forefront of people's
yes.
minds,
Guy Diamond with his big butthole.
which you're desperate to see, apparently.
It's just funny. It's funny. A farting troll. It's hilarious.
Look in the mirror.
And on that note, we are going to end this episode. Thank you, everyone, for joining us to pay tribute to A Day in the Park with Barney. But we are going to end this show with another listener-submitted Universal Is, and of course, well, not of course, but this one comes from Crystal King. All you've got to do if you want to get involved is drop us an email to podcast@uuopodcast.com, or you can send them to us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or look out for the Facebook post. I've been doing it that way now, and just comment on that, letting us know what you think Universal is in 3 words or less. And to end this one, Crystal says Universal is what I need. See you next week, everyone.
Guess that wraps things up for another Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. You guys did all right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Listen and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere podcasts are found. You can find our blog at uuopodcast.com. Send us your spews, which Lou gets your poo recordings, questions, or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, and our awesome sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. So, until next time, don't give up your day job. Say cheese. See you later.